This is for people who missed December 2nd, 2020. So if you missed class today, what we did, it was a 2-hour delay today. This was a short class, but what we did was took a little balancing equation quiz. Now, I'm going to leave this open. And I told the class they had 5 chances. So 5 chances. Five chances to get this right. So I'm going to show you where it's at. Hopefully you already know where it's at, but I'm going to show you where it's at, and I'll get you started. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm in the STEM in our Schoology course STEM section 6, and we're going to go into the gray folder down here, the balancing equations. Now, inside the second folder, the one that says balancing equations, practice problems 1 and 2, well, in that, I also added in a balancing equations quiz. So I put this in this other folder. Things changed yesterday since school was canceled because of snow, and I had just thrown this in here, and I just wanted to show you where it was. So click on that. Oops, that's the class. Settings, so this is my thing, questions. And so it's going to take you through the questions here, and I'm going to go through a preview here, and I'll help you get started. Start new attempt. So you have made 0 of 5 attempts. You have 5 attempts remaining. So it's going to give you 5 chances. Hopefully in 5 chances you all get a 100%, and also I hope you learn how to do this. That's the most important thing. So let's start it up, see what we got. Okay, as we set this up, each line, right, is in order. So this is blank 1, it's the top. Blank 2, here's blank 2, blank 3, blank 4. Now I also gave you little clues where to start. So if you look right here, it says start with Al2SO4 with a 3 outside there. And that compound is right here. So when I say start there, that's the thing we're going to base everything off of. So we'll start with that. Okay, now look at our arrow. Here's our yield sign. That's what splits the beginning from the end, the reactants from the products. And here we go. On this side, we have 2 aluminums. Okay, 2 aluminums. On this side over here, I only have 1 aluminum. So what times 1 equals 2? And I hope you're saying to yourself, oh my gosh, Mr. Arnold, that's 2, right? And so what that means is we have 2 times this invisible 1, which means 2 aluminums on this side to match the 2 aluminums on the other side. So we're trying to make equal amounts on both sides of this little teeter-totter of a balanced equation. Let's look at the next one here. Now, I always go with the same thing I changed. Since I changed the number of it's aluminum hydroxides. Since I changed the number of ALOHs, OH3s, right, I also changed the number of OHs. So now I have 2 times 3 OHs, which is 6 OHs. 6 OHs on the left, and if I go over here to the right, I only have 1 OH. So I have to make that equal to 6. So what times 1 equals 6? And hopefully you're saying to yourself, come on, we know that. 6 times 1, 6 OHs. All right, so now go right with its partners. We fixed the OHs, now it's time to fix the H's. So not only did we have 6 OHs, but now we have 6 H pluses. So let's scoot over here and see that we have on the other side, oh my gosh, we only have 2. So what times 2 will make that equal to 6? Hopefully you're saying to yourself, 3. 3 times 2 equals 6. Now I change the number of SO4s. Now I have 3 times 1 SO4, so I have 3 SO4s. I look over here, wait a minute, this is where we started. We already have 3 SO4s. So 1 times, oops, I put it in the wrong spot. 1 times 3 equals 3. Okay, that's how you do it. Next page. Again, now you look for what my clue is. Least common multiple of Cl, of chlorines. Least common multiple. Okay, let's see how many we have. I have 2 Cl's over here. I have 3 CLs over here. Well, 2 and 3, the least common multiple of 2 and 3, that's 6, right? 2 times 3 equals 6. That's the smallest thing you can get that both 2 and 3 will fit into. All right? So we have to make each side equal to 6. So right here on this blank, we need what times 3 to equal 6? We need 2. And over here in this blank, which is my second blank, I need, right, what times 2 equals 6? And hopefully you're saying that's 3, right? Now, let's go back and look at what we don't have. We don't have FEs. We have one FE over here. We go back here, we have 2 times 1. We have 2 FEs on this side. So we just need to have 2 on this side. So let's put a 2 FEs, and I believe the equation is balanced. Next page. All right, start with B2O3. Here's B2O3 right there. All right, so what do you think? We'll do the B's first? Okay, let's do the B's first. There's 2 B's over here. There's only 1 over here. So we need a 2 in front of that. Okay, let's go back and do the O's. We have 3 O's on this side and only 1 O on this side. So what does that mean? That means we need to have a 3 there. Okay, now we have a partner this time. So when it has a partner, fix its partner immediately after you fix the other thing. So we have 3 times 2. That's 6K. We have 6 Ks. All right? We only have 1 K over here. So we need to put a 6 in front of that. And now we're back to where we started. And usually where you start doing this method, it's going to be a 1. Yes, and it is. So we're back to where we started, and we have a 1. All right, now, someone else in the class was saying, oh, these long ones are harder. No, the long ones are easier, okay? These long ones aren't hard at all. These are easy, all right? You do the same exact thing, and they usually work out really nice. So we have, this time we're going to start with H3PO4. We didn't have to start with H3PO4, but that's just what I picked. It's just one good choice. So here we have H3PO4. Here's our arrow. So we want to work on that. Let's work on these 3 right here. We have 3 H's on the left and only 1 H. And I'm talking about an H by itself, so it's an H plus. I'm keeping OH separate to make this work out easier. So I have only 1 there at the other side. So I have to make it equal to 3. So I'm going to put a 3 in front. Now that gives me 3 OH's on the right, and I only have 1 OH on the left. So I need to have 3 for that too. So on that second blank, I'm going to put a 3 there. Now that gives me 3 Ks. 3 times 1 is 3 Ks. And look over here, I already have 3 Ks. All right, so I can put a 1 there. And I'm back where I started, and so that should be a 1. All right, our next one. Start with O2. Now, the reason I chose to start with O2 is because it will save you going through this twice. So that's why we picked it. All right, so this is O2. We have 2 O's on this side, only 1 over here. So let's make that blank number 3. Let's put a 2 in front of that. 2 times 2 for NAs, right? Go right to the partner. We have 2 times 2. That's 4 NAs. So we need to have 4 right there. We started there, so that should be the 1. Right? Next page. Okay, start with N2. So here's N2. And we only have 1 N on this side, right? So we need to have 2 N's right there. By changing the number of N's, I also changed the number of H's. Now I have 2 times 3, that's 6 H's, right? And so I go back to the other side. And I say, oh my gosh, what times 2 equals 6? And hopefully you're saying to yourself 3. And then I'm back to where I started, so that should be a 1. Next page. Oh my gosh, I did 7 already. I might as well just do them all. Here we go. Hey, we're starting at S8. All right, just a second, pause. Take care of a little business there. So I think I'm on this one, right? So we had S8, right? So there's 8 S's on this side, and there are, let me take my mask back off, there are only 1 S on this side. So we need to fix that last space. So we need to have an 8 in front of that. Now, 8 times 2 equals 16, so we have 16 RVs, and on this side we only have 1. So we're going to put a 16 in front of that. And then we're back to where we started, which was still 8, so we're going to put a 1 in there. Next page. All right, another one that looks like it's the harder ones, but they're not. Just look where you're starting here. So we're starting at FE2SO4 with a 3. So let's do that SO4 first. We have 3 SO4s on this side, only 1 over here. So in that second column, we need a 3. That gives me 3 times 2. That gives me 6 H's. So I need to have, right here, I need to have 6 H's. But by changing the number of H's, I also change the number of BRs. So now I have 6 BRs. And I go over here, and I only have 3. So we need to make that equal to 6. So 2 times 3 equals 6. And then I'm back to where I started, which will be 1. Now, most of the time it ends up being 1 where you start. Every once in a while you'll get one that will cycle through again where you'll have to go higher number, but that doesn't happen very often. If it does, you just keep on going around this. You have to go around the cycle twice. Doesn't happen that often. All right, so we're going to start here with the S8. There's S8 again, right? So we have 8 S's on this side. On this side, we have a 2. So what times 2 equals 8? By golly, that's a 4, right? That gives me 4 C's, so I can fix that first space with 4. I'm back to where I started, so that's 1. So, oh, that's a 4, 1, 4. That's an unusual combination. And our last one, we have to start with ALCL3 because it's the only thing that has anything different. We have 3 CLs over here and only 1 over here. So in our third space, we need to make that into a 3. But that changed my number of LIs, so I need to fix that also in space 1. We have to make that 3 LIs. Okay, now let's go back and check. 1 aluminum, 3 CLs, 3 CLs. 8, we're good to go. Everything else will be 1s. All right, and that does it. Oh, I can't submit. I think I got a 10 out of 10, but I won't know because I'm only in preview mode and not in actual taking the quiz mode. So I hope that helps. If you followed this, you better get 10 out of 10 because I did them all for you. I know that it mixes up on purpose, but hopefully listening to that will also help. Have a wonderful day, and I hope that works.